we have big reasons to be optimistic, and some key points we're going to talk about as to why the silver price can go much higher. Let's go back to this chart, and I will show you what I'm talking about. Again, let's change colors so it's a little more obvious. This is in Canadian dollars per ounce silver price. Okay, as you can see over here in Canadian dollars, the silver price is now right around $50 per ounce. However, it gets even more interesting, and we're going to come back. Do you see something on this chart that gets you very excited? All right, we will come back to this one in a little while, but we got another one to look at. And this, my friends, is the silver price in, can you guess? Australian dollars. Do you see anything on this chart that looks interesting? Oh, here's 50 Australian dollars. This goes all the way back to 1975. And as you can see, we're currently well above 50 Australian dollars per ounce for the price of silver. Yes, of course, some of this has to do with currency valuations against the US dollar. But wait, there's even one more, and then we're going to go back to that other chart. And by the way, do you see it the same thing on this chart as well? Let's go look at the Japanese yen. What do you think we find when we look at that? And this is going to relate to something that's happened in the gold market over the last 5 years as well. It's very interesting. Japanese yen, silver price, 30-year chart. As you can see, over the last 30 years, what are we at here? Over 5,000 yen currently. We are in record territory. So are you noticing a trend, basement dwellers, that the silver price is hitting record levels in many, many of the currencies throughout the world, in the native currencies? But let's go back to that first chart, and I want to point something out that's super exciting. Then we got even more. There's a lot of reasons to be excited about gold and silver in particular. I think this video is mostly about silver, but the gold price is equally exciting. Let's go take a look at this again in Canadian dollars. And there we go. Wait a minute. Hold on here. Here we are. Okay. Did you notice it? Let's draw a line across here. You better have noticed it. After all we've talked about it, we'll draw a line about like this. Okay. You see the green line. That green line represents the world's biggest, best chart pattern in the history of the world. Again, back in 1980, this is in Canadian dollars, but 1980, we had a high in the silver price. We formed this massive cup, and in Canadian dollars, right here, we have broken out, right? I mean, undeniable, we have a breakout of one of the most reliable chart patterns in the history of the universe. And on top of that, it's over the longest period of time, which makes it even more powerful and reliable. Okay, the same can be seen when we go to Australian dollars. Even on a more upward sloping manner, we have broken out and are heading for Valhalla. Oh, wrong line. Hold on. Here we go. We like to do things perfectly here. There we go. Do you see that? And again, going back to 1980 in Australian dollars to 2011, huge cup, big handle, but do you notice how the price goes above that? We have broken out in Australian dollars as well. Now, is it coming to a country near you? Let me tell you something. Are you having deja vu? Huh, basement dwellers? Because I'll tell you why. This exact same thing happened, I don't know, a year ago, 15 months ago, 16 months ago in the gold market. I was down here showing those same charts, but it was for gold, how gold had broken out the new all-time highs in many of the other currencies around the world. And then eventually, what happened? Well, we know what happened, right? Do we need to look at the gold chart? We don't need to look at the gold chart. You know, gold is broken out. Let's get an update on the gold and silver price. For that, we're going to go to channel sponsor First Mint's website, And let's just go up here near the top. Okay, silver down 17 cents, $36.41. Remember that. We're going to circle it briefly. There's silver, 36.41. Here's gold. Oh, that's the gold to silver ratio at 91. Okay, we're going to have to go somewhere else. I apologize to get the gold number. But while we're here, I do want to say thank you to First Mint. Hold on here. We are on their website. They are a silver mint. They're a sponsor of Ron's Basement, Silver Mint in Las Vegas, Nevada, owned by First Majestic Silver. What's interesting about First Mint is they mine the silver. First Majestic mines the silver in Mexico. People work tirelessly, like to get the silver out of the ground. They ship it to Las Vegas, Nevada, where it's made into world-class silver bullion products, one-of-a-kind products. You're seeing them scroll across your screen there. You've got the Buffalo Round. Next up, the Year of the Snake. Next, they're going to show you Year of the Dragon. These are unique, world-class bullion products made by First Mint in Las Vegas, Nevada. This silver has never been touched by those people at the COMEX or the LBMA. As far as I know, First Mint is amongst the only mints in the world that can say they use COMEX-free silver, LBMA-free silver to create these wonderful, wonderful products. They've got great service, great selection. It's a company you can trust, right? It's backed by Keith Neumeyer, and they have bars as well there, 1 kilo, 10 ounce, and a 5 ounce bar. I have a 5 ounce bar that Susie, my wife, is very fond of. She thinks it's the coolest thing in the world. Free shipping on orders over $199, and there's a discount code VIPRB. Thank you, First Mint, for sponsoring the content here in the basement. Let's go I tell you what, we're going to read out to CNBC to get a update on the gold price, because that's what happened. The same thing happened in the gold price as well. Okay, so gold right now is at, as you can see, $3,360 per ounce. The takeaway here, though, is, hold on, what we are seeing occur right now in the silver market, where it's hitting records and all these, is the same thing that happened in the gold market. Okay, the exact same thing that happened in the gold market, and the gold market broke out. I think we're going to see it in the silver market as well, coming to a country near you, the United States of America. Okay, let's go take a look. Now, let's talk about what the actual silver price in U.S. dollars is in other places of the world. What do you say we go on a little trip to China? And we will, hold on here. Here we go. We're going to go out and check on our friend, the Oriental Ghost, who provides us this data. Follow him on Twitter, oriental_ghost.com. It's a great service that he provides to the precious metals community. And hold on one second. I'm going to go back out to First Mint and get an up-to-date silver price, $36.37. However, when we go out to China, and this is the Shanghai Gold Exchange, right there in the Shanghai Futures Exchange, and we look at the silver, that's AG, on the SGE, the Shanghai Gold Exchange, which is the mostly, almost exclusively physical market, we can see that the silver price is $2 higher per ounce, okay? $2. Now, what's critical to remember here is that China is becoming quickly the precious metals price discovery market for the world. Everybody knows it. The secret's out, okay? And the price for silver in U.S. dollars, we're not talking about yuan. No, we're talking about U.S. dollars, is $2 per ounce higher. So think about this, guys. All around the world, when measured in native currencies, silver is breaking out of a cup and handle pattern that's been in place for what, 50 years, 45 years, whatever, a long, long time. Not quite as long as we've been alive, at least for me and probably you, but nonetheless, it's breaking out. And on top of that, in the world's, what's becoming the world's leading market for precious metals, silver is also, right, priced almost $2 higher per ounce. What does that tell us, right? To me, that tells us that we're heading for easily $50 per ounce silver. I made a bold prediction. You don't have to agree with me. You don't, right? That's how we learn from each other. I could be wrong, but I believe on April 1st, 2026, we're going to be down here and we're going to be talking about $60 silver. And if I'm wrong, which could be the case, I'll gladly admit it, but I believe we are going to have much higher price. What do you believe? Right? What do you think? Leave a comment. Send me an email. Okay, you're entitled to your thoughts. Some people think that we could be going to $100 silver. I heard Eric Sprott the other day talk about how silver could be at $250 per ounce. Don't dismiss that, guys. Here's the reason why. Don't listen to what Eric Sprott says and says, oh, he's a silver pumper. He's talking his own book. No, he's a guy who has decades of experience focused on silver. And here's why it could happen. It happened between what? The year 2000 and 2011, when the US dollar went into a bear market. The price of silver during that time period, correct me if I'm wrong, went from about $5 US per ounce all the way to $50 from 2000 through that high in 2011. Let's go take a look at one of these charts and see if we'll look at it in Canadian dollars for kicks and giggles. But let's see here. Okay. So there we were in about the year 1995. Let's draw on here. Right around here would be the year 2000. Okay, looks like silver in Canadian dollars was maybe $8 per ounce. And here we are in Canadian dollars in 2011, right? Again, in US dollars, we went, this move was, as I remember, from about $5 to $50, a 10x move. So where are we now with silver? $36 per ounce? What if we get a 10-ounce move? What if we get an 8x move from here? An 8x move would easily put us above $250 per ounce silver. So don't dismiss it. Okay, it just happened within the last 25 years that we had a massive upswing, multiple X in the silver price. It absolutely, sure, you can throw eggs at me. I can take it. I've been on YouTube for a long time. I've heard it all. You can say whatever you want about me. I'm entitled to my opinion, but I'm basing that opinion by what I know are facts. And from 2000 through 2011, the silver market went on a multiple X run. If I'm wrong, prove me wrong, right? And there's no reason why we can't see that again in the current day and time because of this. And things are even crazier now. We got to do an update on what's happening. This was not the case. Excuse me. This was not the case back then. This could mean that we could go even, it could be even crazier. No doubt about it. Hold on there. Okay. We're going to use yellow today. This was not the case back then. We are almost there, guys, to $37 trillion in debt. Remember, that's what backs up the US dollar. That's what backs up the US dollar. On top of that, we're getting reports. Our friend, Mr. Chris Marcus at Arcadia Economics. Oh, wait a minute. We got more to talk about as we talk about the silver market in particular. Here we go. We're going to go out here. We're going to look at the dude. Don't forget, subscribe to the dude. He provides great info to the silver community. There it is right there. And we're going to talk about the paper market. Hold on here. There we go. Okay, the silver market yesterday traded 416 million paper ounces. Okay, 416 million. So all of this that we're talking about, why is this important? 416 million ounces, because all of this that we're talking about that is going on right now in the silver market, the potential is all also being affected by the paper markets, the COMEX and the LBMA. Do you realize 416 million ounces represents 50% of the entire year's silver mining output? 50% traded in one day. So you're going to tell me that's the real price, or would you go with the Shanghai Gold Exchange price, right, which is a almost purely physical market that puts the physical market of a price for silver in US dollars almost $2 per ounce higher. $39 silver is coming quickly. We might pull back, no doubt about it, but with everything going on, when we factor in what's going on the charts, when we factor on what's going on fundamentally with industrial demand for silver continuing to increase, right? With jewelry demand continuing to increase. Don't forget, jewelry accounts for almost 25% of all silver mining output during the year, increasing. And, if investment demand, if your crazy neighbors who don't own silver, when they start to wake up, investment demand has been putrid over the last few years. If we get an upswing in investment demand, that could easily be an additional 100 million to 200 million, maybe more, of ounces demanded on an annual basis. We're set up for something good. On top of it all, the cherry on top, Chris Marcus over at Arcadia Economics is reporting. Where did it go? Oh, shoot. I thought I had this pulled up. Here it is. Hold on here, guys. Let's get this pulled up. All right. Nope, wrong. All right, we'll just pull this one up here instead. Arcadia Economics on their Substack is reporting that the bank silver short position has now grown to the second largest in history. Why is that important, and what does it mean? Well, a short is when the banks sell silver, right, which puts downward pressure on the silver price, but they have to return it. They have to buy it back at some point in the future. And like he says, right, the banks just increased their silver short position, which means that it would be wise to be on the lookout either for a correction, okay, or the possibility that one of the banks gets a little nervous and tries to cover. And I believe there's a video associated with this, that you can go out to Arcadia Economics YouTube channel and watch. But the key here is, did I lose you? No, we're back. Sorry, guys, thought I lost you for a second. When the banks have what is now being reported as the second largest short position in history, one of two things is going to happen. Either they're going to tamp the price down so they can buy back, right, and cover their short at a lower price. That's ideal for the big banks. And, we're not exactly rooting for the JP Morgans and the big bullion banks of the world. Or there is a possibility with this massive short position that if the price continues upward, we could see a short squeeze. It's going to be interesting, guys. When we look at what's going on right now with the silver price all over the world, breaking out to new all-time highs, when we consider the fundamental facts supporting the silver market, it just looks very, very optimistic moving forward. It also looks great for gold. And on that note, I do want to say thank you to channel sponsor First Mining Gold. They are a Canadian gold development stage company. They have two massive multi-million ounce development stage projects in Canada, the Duparquet project in Quebec and the Springpole project in Ontario. And there's a bonus 1 million ounce project, the Cameron project, also located in Canada. They're working these projects through the permitting stage. The Springpole project, I believe, can be qualified as an advanced stage development project. You can learn more about them at firstmininggold.com. And if you want to talk to a real human at the company, it is a stock I own. I'm not a financial advisor, but if you want to talk to a real human at their company, their director of investor relations, Paul Morris, I got a link to his email in the description of this video. Call Paul or email Paul. All right, guys, we're in for a wild ride in precious metals. All right, we have turned the corner. Look, nobody has a crystal ball, but I'm very optimistic about what we are going to get to experience together in the coming months, quarters, and years. As always, thanks for joining me here in the basement. You are the most important part. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you, yes, you, soon.